Bam. Your host, Eric Foss. What's up, The Truth? Shout out to whoever John Wolf is. He's a fan of the show. What's up, guys? What's up, Butterfly Kisses? I'm going to let some people get in here. I'm going to talk about what we're going to do today first. I'm going to talk about how my lifestyle, and hopefully some people can relate, how my lifestyle and going to prison caused me to be a failure at things that were actually important. Whereas though, and it was due to my own selfishness and it was unintentional. So I'm going to get into that. Whereas though, what I failed at because of my lifestyle. No, I'm not upset at all. We're going to have a good show. What's up, another fat bald Italian? Yeah, so I'm going to talk about that, and hopefully people can relate to that, because what happens is when we live a certain type of lifestyle. What's up, Timothy? And we wind up going to like prison or anything, or just in the streets, like selling drugs, anything like that. What's up? What's up, Dave? I love you too, bro. That's my man. You got to check him out. Listen, he did an interview on Chad Marks. Check out his story. That's somebody I grew up with. But no, I wanted to. So basically, I want to talk about my failures, and I want to talk about my failures as a father, as a son, a grandson, and as a brother. Okay. So what's up, Salvatore? So basically, let me start it like this. Let me set the stage for you. Basically, I was raised by my grandparents. Okay. So I came up a little bit dysfunctional or whatever. I was raised by my grandparents. They were who loved me. They were my comfort zone, everything like that. Okay. Now, there's three of us. I was the oldest brother, and I had two younger brothers. Unfortunately, they've passed away. Okay. So also I have two daughters that are adults now, and I have a mother. So I want to show how I failed all these people who really mattered unintentionally due to my lifestyle and due to my selfishness and just not even understanding what really mattered. Okay, I'll start first with my grandparents. Obviously, I went away to prison or whatever. I went away to state prison when my daughter was, she was born in June of 99. I went away in July of 99. So I go away. Now, my grandmother was sick at the time. And on my daughter's first birthday, my grandmother passed away. Okay. And I couldn't be there for my grandmother. And that hurt me really bad. Now, I want to fast forward a little bit to when I got out. So I reconnected with my daughter. And as I reconnect with my daughter, I was on the box or whatever. So my baby's mother's coming over. So things happen. So she winds up getting pregnant. Okay. That's very important here. So I already have a daughter. Now somebody's pregnant. Same woman, whatever. So basically what happens months from then, my grandfather is getting pretty ill or whatever, sick, and he's getting near the end. So I wind up getting indicted again, and I went to the feds. So when I get indicted and go to the feds, off the bat, my grandfather's like he's done. You know, it's like his last words. And it really hurt because my mother went to see him, and he said to her, he said, "Where's my son at?" And he's talking about me because my grandfather called me his son. And she made some excuse that, something was going on. And she said, he just looked at her and said, "He's back in jail." Right. And that was it. So that was very hard. But now at the same time as that's going on, remember, I'm got a child coming, but I'm indicted. They're not letting me out on bail. So so my daughter was born, got indicted in August. My other daughter was born in October. So I wasn't able to be there for that or anything like that. I actually had to sign the birth certificate behind, glass with a notary and stuff like that. So with all that being said, I have to look back and I have to say, like, why was I in these situations? Why do I just got that bad of luck? And, the people who really count, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at who I've disappointed right there in these situations so far. My grandparents. That's terrible, but we can get over that. But now we have children involved. But let's get on to me having to connect. When I get out, I have to connect. Well, let me do my prison time. So as I'm doing my prison time, my youngest brother winds up, he's out here and he's running around doing his thing or whatever. You know, he's slick. He's got cars and stuff like that. And I think that's when the big pills things were going on and all, because it was like 2011, I believe he passed away. But so he did a bunch of Xanax or something like that and drank, you know, and he passed away at like 25 years old. Now, I wasn't even able to be there for my brother or my mother, okay, in that situation. Now, that's a child that my mother lost. You know what I mean? And eventually I wind up getting out. Now, from the getting out part, this is something that maybe people can understand, and maybe people are dealing with this. I have to reconnect with my daughter, who is now 14 years old, and I have to connect with my other daughter, who is only 10 years old, that I have never connected with. So me being my lifestyle and who I am, that was very rough. That was very hard transition for me because I was immature still. Look, I was incapable of raising kids because of my selfishness, because of what I put in front of my children. You know what I mean? So now I have to reconnect and then also connect. There's so many ups and downs that go with that. And, you know, there's been such a rough road, but listen, everything works out in the end and stuff. And just anybody can have these type of problems. It doesn't matter if you went to prison or anything, but these are irreversible problems that my lifestyle caused. Okay. That's what my lifestyle caused. And that was my selfishness. That was me unintentionally wanting the things that did not matter. Okay. Because at the end of the day, the people who mattered are my grandparents. It is my mother. It is my brother that passed away. And now let's get to 2018. My other brother, he was the middle brother. He dies of cirrhosis of the liver in 2018. Now I was free at this time. I was able to go down there and be with my mother, and I would take care of burial, cremation and all that kind of stuff, you know, because I take care of all that kind of stuff. So I was able to be there. But now this is an argument, and I don't agree with this, but my mother said, because I told my mother, I said, why did you not tell me? You know, this doesn't happen overnight. By the time I got down there, he was in hospice. So I found out the last minute that he was dying. So my mother looks at me and is like, Eric, we were embarrassed. We thought you might look down on us. And I'm like, whoa. So first off, that's totally wrong. Then I'm like, whoa. So I'm putting on such a facade out here that my own mother forgets where I came from. You know what I mean? This is my mother. Like, Mom, why would you think this? So, and that's obviously not true, but I have to take responsibility on that if my actual own mother would have thought that because of the lifestyle that I was leading. So, you know what I mean? So it just leads into all kind of just dumb stuff. You know, I cared more about what people out here would think. I cared more about driving this big car, dating this, listen, just all the bullshit. And at the end of the day, that's all gone. And then my opportunities that I had to step up, and I had opportunities to be there for these people who mattered. And at the end of the day, no matter, and I do love them more than anything, I wasn't able to be there. And that was due to my lifestyle and my own selfishness, you know? So like I've said recently, look, I'm not a perfect person, and I am still a total work in progress. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to get into and talk about, because I do see floating around these communities, other situations sort of like mine, but maybe not prison, maybe not this, but where somebody has you know what I mean? Somebody may be able to relate, you know, whether it's, especially nowadays with social media, say like you got a guy and a girl and they have a child. You see that all day long on social media. You'll see, oh, it's a bad baby's mother trashing the baby's father, this and that going on and stuff. And with this social media and stuff, and everybody just slinging mud and dirt and stuff like that, this could possibly really be hard even without prison, you know, because of the way that things are going nowadays. So when I come on and I'm saying these things and I'm telling my experiences, look, we'll come on here and we can talk and we can laugh and we can joke. And I can tell you a ton of stories about good times and, doing this, doing that and tripping out and doing all this kind of stuff. Yes, that is true. But I do want to take the time and use this platform to come on here and let people know that there are consequences to everything that is done. And it is not worth it. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Like I said, all that is gone and done. You know what I mean? Now I missed these opportunities. Now you might say, well, Eric, your kids are still here and stuff like that. Your mother's still here. My mother's sick with cancer. Yeah, my mother's still here. Now, if I don't change my ways and I wind back in jail, what if my mother passed away? That boom, another failure that you can't get back. You know what I mean? It's just been too many failures. The more stories if I really tell you the truth, I'm going to be talking about a lot of my failures, because if they weren't failures, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, because I'd be a successful motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I have more of these things to talk about, and I see that a lot of people are like this. And oh, Damien's in here. Yeah, I wanted to refer back to Damien when I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. What's up, Jay? When I interviewed Damien a couple weeks ago, and we talked about his situation that he just went through, where imagine if Damien would have been locked up. Imagine if Damien would have been caught up in, another fat bald Italian. Yeah, but I wasn't during them as children. I failed as a father. They're adults. You understand? I was in and out, reconnecting. And if it would have been in a different era, it would have been worse. You understand? Because back in a different era, they'd have been looked at worse and stuff. But I'm not going to lie to you, like, a lot of kids nowadays are like, oh, your father's the plug, yo, your father's lit and stuff like that. So they weren't like getting embarrassed and shit, But at the end of the day, I still was not there. So no, I'm a failure as a father. I've never, ever, ever said different. And yes, I'm, in their lives and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I still cannot get back them years that I missed there. So, I'm not saying that things can't be compensated for. I'm saying, though, it can't never be reversed. It just can't. It's just done and it's over. And just like I want to use Damien's situation as something like, because we talked about how Damien's got a 21-year-old son, and Damien's baby's mother, which is the son, which was the child's mother, passed away recently. And had Damien not have had his head on right, or maybe that put his head on totally straight, but at the end of the day, Damien was able to be there, was able to step in, and that is so huge, that is so big. You know what I mean? That is what counts. That is what you judge a person off. I pay attention to them type of things because look, the stuff that I can do easily and stuff like that, guys, I don't pay attention to. You know what I mean? But the stuff that I missed out on, I could do. Yes, I pay attention to that kind of stuff. Listen, it's easy for me to go out and party. It's easy to go pool chicks. It's easy. This has been all my life, all my fucking life. And it's gotten me fucking nowhere. And I've just realized that recently. You know what I mean? Whatever happened to being a good husband, whatever happened to being a good father, whatever happened to, these are the people who need to be looked at and looked at as, damn, they're the ones doing the thing. You know what I mean? It's not about, keeping up with the Joneses and just wanting to be the coolest one on the block. And you got to have all this, you got to have all that, because it amounts to nothing. And you actually hurt people. You can actually disrespect the people. Some of my guys have been locked up. We've all done this to people. We've had people that just came out of the woodwork and looked out for us during our bid. They were there for us, whether they answered the phone, they took care of this, took care of that. But then, they're really into us. Then we come home and we kind of like forget about them. We go off with our crowd and we just do whatever. And it's like we disrespected the hell out of them. Once again, our selfishness. Disrespected them, people who really mattered, who really care about you, who really want you to succeed. We do it all the time. I see it done on here. No, we don't accept responsibility. Up until recently, I haven't. You know what I mean? But then when I opened my eyes and I looked at certain things, I'm like, man, I don't want to go back into prisons and things. I could give a shit less. I could give a shit. Well, listen, I've done what I've done. My work speaks for itself, and that's it. It's done. Life is so much more, and especially with the struggles and stuff that everybody's going through. It's everybody. I mean, and it's just like people just don't sit back and just look and realize, you know, I do think it has to come at maturity, and you know what I mean, and just sometimes sit back and just look, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, guys, I want to like touch on that, like, because I see that going on. Like I see the argument yesterday. Somebody said something about somebody's relationship with their daughter, and instead of saying, first off, the type of things should be off limits, but instead of going back and say, well, your relationship with your daughter or your kid, instead of people doing that, people or saying, hey, explaining themselves to people who don't matter. We don't matter. Listen, 1,000 people listening to this right now. And oh yeah, and hey, best wishes to you, TJ. You got 1,000 people who could hear this that don't matter. You know what I mean? But what matters is you and your daughter or your son or whatever that you got to connect with. So it's not about explaining yourself to that. It's making sure within yourself that you're doing the right thing to take the right steps. And then when you hit bumps in the road, you don't have a whole bunch of bullshit with it. You understand what I'm saying, guys? That's the kind of stuff that I'm seeing, and it's just like, I just want to give my experiences of the mistakes that I've made and the things that so other people don't make them, or maybe you are making them, maybe you're in the process of making them, and maybe you say, hey, listen, Eric has been through a lot of shit, you know what I mean, and you could reach out, you know what I mean, or I could do a show on it and give you any type of advice. Like I said, I could give you the fail inside. I could tell you what not to do. If that makes any sense. That's what I'm talking. Yeah. Another fat ball time. Good question. Do I ever attempted to make another, go on a little run, go make a couple dollars real quick, right? Stack a quick 100 or something. Listen, no, not anymore. Nope. And that's until recently, another fat ball today. And I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm talking about my mindset. I swear, if you'd asked me that question 4 months ago, you would have got a different answer. Yeah, exactly, Timothy. Exactly. And everybody could take anybody's situation and just relate. You know what I mean? And it's because we've all been through shit. And the thing about it is none of us are perfect, and that's another thing. And it's just seems to me that's going on in the world, not just on YouTube. I'm talking about in the world it's so much stuff that doesn't matter that is actually ruining people. It really is. Like you see it in that with the rappers and everything like that. It's just like, you know what I mean? When does it end? It's that life is about so much more. You see young kids getting life sentences. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus, these kids have never left in the neighborhood they're in. I know people, listen, and now this isn't me because I've been fortunate enough into my little skirts out. I moved fast, you know what I mean? So I was always able, I've been places, you know what I mean? Put it that way. But I know people who have never left Maryland. They've never been on an airplane, shit like that. And most of the people, like my friend Dave, who was just in the chat earlier, I don't know if he's still here. He just came home off of a life sentence. He's one of the first people in Maryland to ever be rolled off life sentence ever since like the early 80s or some shit. I don't know the law. He knows all that shit. And he's got a crazy story, you know what I mean? And he turned his life around and was serious about it. Now he's married. He's doing great, and he shout out to him. Like I said, check out his interview over on Chad Marks. I didn't do his interview. He's one of my best friends. I gave it to Chad because I'm not good enough to do his interview. So that tells you how good that interview is. You know what I mean? Because I'm a beast. But no, anyway, guys, go check that out. But yeah, so I just think a lot of times when you sit back and you reflect and you look at what really matters to you and what really is going on, and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? You got to reassess yourself. You got to say, what the fuck am I doing? Where do I keep failing at? Why? Who's doing it to me? Why are you putting me in these positions? Is it God? No, it's not God. It's the devil. Because if you believe in God, you better believe in the devil. Thing is, you need to worship God. That's the thing. And the devil's a bad motherfucker, and he's been busting my ass a lot of my life. You know what I mean? And I'll be the first one to admit it. You know, God's not going to come save me. God gave me the tools to know better and gave me the free will to get up out of there. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing now. I'm gone. I'm not playing that shit. No way, shape, or form. I think that I have a lot of things to accomplish because I can say, like I said earlier, I've never done the things that I really want to do. Never been married, never been, you know what I mean? None of that kind of stuff, you know, so. Where's that at, Dominic? Because we got an incident like that going on up here. And I know the people involved, but you're probably not from up here. But, you know, if it's the one with the weed and the, you know, if you're from up here, I know all about it. Yeah, so like incidents like Dominic right here. His nephew's 19. Face it from now on, which, guys, that means life. Life isn't 25 years. Life is life. And even 25 years. And it's the kids today are lost. But Dominic, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Where was the bridge? Okay. I know, I'm in Baltimore. Okay, you're right outside Cleveland. I know a lot of people on the west side. What is it, Dennison Street? You guys used to have I don't know if it's still there. Back in the day, Christie's strip club. Anyway, let's get off them topics. But anyway, yeah. So it's just like we make such mistakes, and we just the stuff that doesn't matter, and we just hurt the wrong people and stuff. I'm gonna drop the link. If Stone Sailor, you're gonna hop up. And we can get into this damn $1 million deal too today, guys, with this damn Dominic Sicali. Needs $1 million to get in there. I said, man, I'll get in there, kick his ass for a carton of Newports, a pair of retro 3s, 4s, and 11s. I'll kick Sicali's ass. He needs $1 million. Get out of here. I'm about to right now. Yeah, but yes, you guys see that shit? They're talking that shit. Dom's over there talking about $1 million. He wants to box two people at the same time, but they got to tie one hand. Yeah, he was on some kind of crazy shit with that. I'm looking at that. I'm like, $1 million shit. God damn, bro. I don't need nothing like that shit. I'd hop up in there with his ass. Like I said, ain't no problem. What's up, Stone Sailor? Did it add you to the stage? Hang on. There you go.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
Oh, yeah, Philly. Hey, what's up, Stone Sailor? Did you see that? Philly Mike. Philly Mike was there. $5 million if Dominic Sicali wins.
Wait a second. But you said a carton of Newports?
Right. Listen, give me a carton of Newports and three pair of retro J's, a pair of 3s, a pair of 4s, a pair of 11s. I'll get in there and kick Sicali's ass. I don't need
Tell him you want a piece of his EG vodka company. If you win, you get a piece of the company.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, he's got a good vodka from what I hear out there. I don't drink, but
I don't drink vodka.
I don't drink either, but I've heard people that do drink, and they told me it was good. They tried it, so I'm giving him a free plug, Dominic. There you go. I heard it was good. So since you're an owner of that, why don't you put that up? See, Eric, you could be part owner too.
They're talking about some shit that's never going to happen and stuff like that. But, but nah, it's so
I know. $1 million. Who's the bankroll? Who's gonna bank that?
No clue. He's saying something. There's some guy. Well, see, he's talking about here's what happened. The guy Billy Luna put out like one of the things, a short or something, and talking about challenge. And then Dom said he wants to challenge him, Joey, and Snuff all to a fight. Them against him, but they tie an arm behind their back. It's some crazy shit, right? And I'm like,
come on, man.
Gives you the advantage, you know what I mean? Because I think
you want to know.
I'd rather fight guys with their arms tied. I don't know.
You know what, Eric? I listen. I love this when we get here and we play and all that. But this is like high school. Ain't no 50-something-year-old man. Tie my left arm around my back and I'll fight you with the right and then one
Hey, the
arm. That's
real
it. Come
truth.
on,
Oh, hold on. Let me
bro. Come
answer to
on.
my man the real truth. Come on, man. What? What? Are you crazy?
Oh, that. Are
What
you
the
going
Dominic
to fight?
Sicali challenged me to a fight. Am I going to accept this fighter and actually fight him, or is all bullshit?
You already
The
accepted it.
truth. A carton of Newports and 3 pairs of Jordans, I get in there and kick his ass. He wants
Three
to get
pairs of Jordans and a carton of Newports.
I get in there. Nah, but I would have to train. I would definitely have to train if we really did it. But I mean, I'd roll out of bed. If they offer me money, I'd walk out there right now and do it. How about that? Does that answer your question?
Shit. I don't know what kind. I mean, for 3 pairs of Jordans and a carton of cigarettes, I'm sure Dom looks like he's got some deep pockets. I think he can swing that.
Yeah, because he was saying, yeah. So he was originally trying to put that shit some type of. I don't know. It confused me a little bit. It was funny
Yeah,
though.
I
You
know.
know what I'm
It gets
saying?
like high school though when you start talking about, I'm gonna fight 3 guys in one night like George Foreman did, like all these like it's like
Man, listen,
how
and
about
these
just
guys are all bullshit because me and Damian Trites have been trying to fight for the whole damn time. We've
well,
been
he's a
dead
real
fucking
fighter,
serious.
yeah. He's
We've
the
been dead
only real
serious.
fighter.
We've been behind the scenes. He's called me out. Yo, you hear anything? Yo, you hear anything? We're really trying to do this shit.
Yeah, well, I mean yeah,
Shit.
that's funny as hell. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe they'll put something together. Damien's a pro, so maybe they put something together. I don't know. I mean, I mean, I'm sure they could if they really want to get it off the ground. You know,
Did
I
he
don't
lose
know
it
who's
last
gonna.
night shooting the dice? I didn't really see him lose it like usually. But nah,
Who
I
lost?
was like laughing at the shit. But yeah, me and Damien have been trying to put something together anyway. So what have you been up to, Stone Sailor? Because we were talking. Listen, now really, reason why everybody's talking is because they challenged them to get in the ring with with this kid,
I heard.
Johnny Garbarino.
Wait,
Listen,
okay,
this
yeah.
kid. Let me tell you something. This kid can fucking fight. This kid can fight. Like I seen him. He did the bare
Is he a
knuckle.
pro?
Yeah, it was his first bare knuckle fight.
Oh,
So
he's bare knuckle dude.
yeah, well, listen, he fucked the dude up. He fucked the dude up, but with a one hitter quitter, basically. But I
Yeah,
watched
bare
the whole
knuckles a whole
fight, though.
different.
I
Yeah,
watched the whole fight, and I just seen his skills. Listen, this guy can actually fight. He can box. He can
yeah.
bare knuckles. Listen, he's a tough kid, man. And so that's what they were talking about.
Well, I mean, just like you put him
Hey,
in an
that'd be funny.
MMA.
Listen, Chicky against me and Damien in like a
Oh,
handicap
an old handicap match.
wrestling match.
You remember that when what's his name, King Kong Bundy used to come in with the midgets and he splashed one. He jumped on. He
I don't
did the
know.
splash
Listen,
on.
I don't know if I'd be up. I don't know. I might be too old now, but back in my day, I might have been able to get Chicky up and Damien come off the top rope and clothesline his ass. I don't know about now, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we ain't got the backs for that now. That takes a lot. Unless yeah, it takes a lot of work. But who said? But who knows? Maybe they'll put a little boxing match together. It'd be nice to see 2 guys get
Haysex
in there
Calhoun,
from you
Joe
two.
Root. That guy.
Yeah, that guy was a big dude. Yeah, he
Yeah, that
was
big
huge.
hillbilly looking guy. Yeah,
Yep.
that was before like my time. My time was like what you call Hulk Hogan when he first was
Yeah, you had
in
King Kong
WrestleMania.
Bundy too. King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant. All the
Yeah,
the
Hulk Hogan slammed Andre and all that shit.
yeah, slammed Andre. Yeah. So
Yeah, but then come
well,
to
I
find
love
out,
that stuff.
like 100 people had slammed Andre. Hogan had already slammed him
Hmm.
10 times prior.
Yep.
But we didn't have all this where you could see it
Yep.
all. But that's when it
Exactly. It
was
was
better,
all.
though.
I
That's
thought it was too because you had to wait till because I was a big fan. I still am, but you got to wait for the magazine to come out to see like what
yeah,
happened.
Pro Wrestling
Unless you're
Illustrated.
watching TV and then one day you're like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
whoever it was, like uh, Pedro Morales isn't the Intercontinental Champion anymore.
yeah.
Or Bruno lost the belt. Like you'd have to see it in a magazine or you watch it on TV and you're like, whoa, he won because it was all in
And that's
territories then, and it was
think about this, and that's another thing too. Like with everything nowadays, even think about this. That's why I like to say, take a LeBron James. everything that he's done wrong is just caught on camera. You understand what I'm saying? Every shot missed, everything like that. And now look,
Everything.
Jordan's the GOAT. Jordan's the GOAT. Jordan's my man, of course. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that Jordan's the GOAT, but I mean, imagine if social media was out back then. You'd have seen all the Jordans failures.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? So,
bro,
it just everybody's failures gets highlighted nowadays. The success isn't really highlighted.
Listen, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If there was social media I'm 50. If there was social media growing up in my generation, I wouldn't have been able to probably get in the military or get a job. Like they would have, if I would have like had like I was like in one of these like moments where I was like, I'm a kid, I'm going or whatever it is. I mean, if that was all recorded and saved till the end of time, like now these kids, their whole life's on social media, every fuck up, everything. Thank God I wasn't born in that era, because man, I wouldn't have been able to get a fucking job anywhere.
Yeah,
my crazy life.
It's ridiculous. It's just so it's very negative at Thornblade.
Yeah. I think my whole theory on this is yes, we have the internet. That was a revolutionary thing, just like the wheel when it was invented. But I think mankind and what it's become, I don't think we as mankind, as people, human beings, are mature enough to handle it. I think I don't think we're mature enough as a society to like handle where this social media and AI is going. It's like dropping a loaded revolver in a cage with a bunch of chimpanzees and just watching to see which one is going to figure out the gun and shoot it. I think that's what it is.
Have you seen what's going on? I don't know if you guys look at it with like 50 Cent and Big Meech.
Yeah, I just saw something about that. Meech was at Penn 1, I believe, too.
Oh, yeah, I know. I heard he was in Gilmer. I know he was in Gilmer. He wasn't there when I was there. He was in Gilmer.
We had another rapper too. Was he Big Meech? He was where's this Big Meech from Louisiana?
No, you're talking BG probably.
BG, yeah, that's him. BG, that's the guy. BG, not Big Meech. BG, that's him.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Big Meech. He was like the big coke dealer or whatever. So
yeah.
Anyway, he's just hanging. He took a picture and was doing a car show with Rick Ross, and 50 Cent doesn't like Rick Ross, and now 50 Cent cut Big Meech off, I guess, from the movie. Well, 50 Cent did a lot for him. What's up, Christopher? And shit like that. So now 50 Cent's coming out with some shit on him on the internet saying that Big Meech is a rat, and he's got the actual rat to prove it. It's just like crazy shit. Like,
but the truth is, if you're really gonna respect it, the gangster code, like a corrections officer like Rick Ross, and then becomes a gangster rapper, that would be like me becoming a gangster rapper.
Yeah,
I never did any of that shit.
Yeah, but see, this is like really Rick Ross ain't got nothing to do with it. I guess Rick Ross did the song Big Meech.
No.
But
50 had a beef with him because he was an ex-corrections officer, and he would rap about, being a drug dealer and all this stuff. And he's like, you're an ex-corrections officer. You were in law enforcement.
Dominic, do you think that's actually staged? I don't think that's staged.
No.
50 Cent is a savage, man. If you just
he is. I like him.
He goes at people, man.
I like him.
At people. Yeah, listen, one thing about 50 Cent, he's very smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not. No, he's no dummy. He knows. He's no dummy. I
didn't know. What you would call it, 50's baby's mother. Are you talking about the baby's mother, about his son that he doesn't talk to and shit? Listen, he cut his own son off for taking a picture with Supreme Son.
50 Cent?
Yeah.
I thought he cut his son off because the kid was crying about he can't live on like 50 grand a month child support or something that his mama gets. 50 grand a month. The kid was crying, saying, "My mama don't get enough money."
Like that too. It always comes in.
Well, I would have cut the little prick off too if he was getting 50 grand a month from me.
I agree with Matt. Matt made a good comment. I agree with that.
What do you say?
It's not staged. 50 doesn't care. You hang out with his enemies, he considers you an enemy. And that's how he is. That's how he's always been.
Okay.
Best hip hop artist of all time shooting the dice? Shoot. I mean, what are you talking about? Lyricist wise and stuff like that? I would have to say
I got one.
I'd have to say Jay-Z because I've seen him live and he's good live.
I have someone different.
Who?
Cool G Rap.
Oh yeah,
from
Cool
New
G
York.
Rap. Yeah. I got a job with the
I remember when it came out in 89, 90. I was listening, got the cassette. Bro, Cool G Rap to me is the best. He's on the Mount Rushmore. I think he's better. He's better than all those guys.
Yeah, but he got he's the one, he's Superhead's baby's father.
Something like that. He was involved
Yeah.
with some lady, had a baby with her or
Yeah,
something.
she's
Yeah.
the one who wrote the video vixen stuff about everybody she slept with. Because you know Irv Gotti
Yeah, I
just
know.
died.
Real classy girl.
Yeah, exactly. Those aren't the words you throw around for clout, and you're talking about big meats. This ain't about money. Yeah, Irv Gotti died from a stroke yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Now
I
listen,
saw
yeah,
that.
there you go, Chris. Rakim, man, you can't sleep on like Rakim.
Rakim's great too. Rakim and Eric B are great too, no doubt. But I
You
like.
got
I think
you got to start. You got, and then you also got to separate what was like real hip hop and what is like gangster rap. What he's talking about with another fat bald Italian, because it's different. It's different. Like okay, Curtis Blow and Slick Rick
remember
and all
Curtis
those
Blow.
guys. Those guys were like hip hop.
Yeah,
Gangster rap was like NWA. I
yeah.
think
That was
gangster
the.
rap.
Yep.
I still. Yeah, okay, another fat ball tank. Gangster image, yes, but actual gangster rap, I think, started out on the West Coast with that NWA and all that
I
shit.
mean, NWA. That was like 91 or 92 with NWA. Fuck the police and shit. That came out. That shit was like everybody was jamming that in the cars.
Wait,
Everybody.
Dominic, yeah, listen, that's the lady who snitched on the guy Cuddy and got him like 30 years. And apparently she did it for Big Meats, but she slept with the FBI agent, so they never got the time cut. And now she told the story to 50 Cent, and 50 Cent's about to put it out there.
Yeah, sleeping with FBI agents. Isn't that insane that these guys are
But
doing
it's
that? I
listen,
mean,
no, not to me,
that's
not to me.
happened a lot. No, no, no. That Eric, I've heard like
Now
a
maybe
lot of
not
these
FBI, but
agents,
just dirty cops. That's just is what it
dirty
is.
well, FBI agents are dirty cops if they're sleeping with
Oh
their
yeah, yeah,
informants.
yeah. Obviously, but I'm saying I've never seen dirty FBI agents. I've seen dirty cops though a lot. I've
No,
seen more dirty.
well,
Listen, I've seen more dirty cops than I've seen clean cops.
well, you got to remember if you're talking about city cops, there's a lot more of them. FBI agents, they're a lot smaller, and their hiring process is a lot more strenuous and rigid. So usually, when one of them goes bad, they indict them and they, and do that. I mean, they should. I mean, these guys should be held to a higher standard. I mean, if you're taking those jobs, you have to be held to the higher standard. You're taking a position under oath. You know, that's the way I looked at it always.
Yeah, Matt, you know the whole story. Matt, you know that story better than I do. Yeah, yeah, you're right on point. Everything you're saying, Matt. Yeah, that's the thing that's going on. It was like a third party thing. She was trying to get Meech out of jail or something, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to see what comes out with 50 Cent and all that kind of shit to see really what she says. But I mean, I don't know. Who knows? And she does own his life rights. Big Meech's life rights is weird. It's a weird situation.
Hmm, that's strange.
Lot of just weird
But
shit.
think about what you just said right there. How can someone else own the rights to your life? Think about that. Doesn't that sound fucking crazy? Hmm?
What's this question mean? Sailor, did you consider the cops instead of prison guard? That's shooting the dice. Ask that again. Shooting the dice. He said it
What
wrong.
was
That
it?
don't make sense. Sailor, did you consider the cops instead? Oh, did you consider being a police officer instead of a prison guard? I think.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was a military police officer, and I was hired by the Federal Protective Service when I retired. But they wanted me to work in St. Louis, and if you're from St. Louis, no offense, I didn't want to work at the federal court building in St. Louis, although it would have been a real nice job for me. But the BOP, they were hiring quick, and they had the location, which was Florida, which was Central Florida, and I said, hey, all my military time counts day for day. So why not go with the feds? I'm walking in the door already as a senior employee. And especially I wanted to live in
Now,
Central
when
Florida.
you like when you become a correctional officer, right?
Yeah.
Did they ask you if you've ever smoked weed or anything?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They asked you all
What
kind
did
of
you
drug
say yes?
questions.
What did you say yes?
I didn't smoke weed.
No, but what if you did? Would you not get the
Well, it
job?
depends. It depends on when it was. Well, they ask you like in the last 7 years, have you used any kind of, they'll list drugs, and then they'll say in the last 3 years, have you smoked marijuana? They'll ask you that, I mean, if you like in the military, if you say you tried marijuana one time, it's not gonna hurt. Now, if you go in there and say you did it 1,000,
Randy B says they ask who did you drink with?
well, no, they asked me about my alcohol consumption, like how much do I drink in a
Are you
month?
serious? To be
Yeah, they had some questions regarding that. Yeah, like You know, how much did you ever have to go to rehab for alcohol? They ask you that shit.
Hmm.
That's on the background questionnaire. Have you ever had to seek treatment for like alcohol,
And let
substance
me ask you this.
abuse?
Let me ask you
Mhm.
this. What do they tell you about us? Do they train you about us that we're going to try to
Of course.
manipulate you and all that kind of shit?
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah, I mean,
Talk to me
they
about that.
give you,
I've always wondered that. Well, how's that go?
well, yeah, I mean, and they train you on, well, first, I mean, what they do is they bring in inmates who have actually corrupted staff and they have them talk about how they did it. And they do videos. Like, you know, these guys that get popped, a lot of they'll offer them a deal if they do training videos for us. So they'll have former or current inmates that you don't even know, and they're given a video or a class on how they corrupted other officers. And then you'll have officers that got corrupted, got caught, but in a plea deal, they'll go to the annual training for the BOP and tell their story about how they got compromised, how it started,
What
and
do they
they
warn you
teach you.
against?
Well, they have there's a book that you read. I think it's like the fish or something. Wait, what is it? The duck. The duck. You ever read that book?
No.
All right, there's a book they tell you to read called The Duck, which is all about inmate manipulation. They run scenario based training to, you know, they bring in actors and people like that to act like inmates and shit, and they have these little scenarios, and you have to go and like, you know, and
Do they bring up like?
de-escalate.
Do they bring up like the guards messing with the inmates? Do they?
Oh yeah, yeah, yo, they tell you that day
How do they
one.
introduce that? What do they say? They're going to try
Day
to.
one, it is they show you the law right on there. It is illegal for you to engage in any sexual da 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 with an inmate. An inmate cannot consent. If you're guilty of this, you'll be guilty of a sex crime. I mean, I mean, they tell you that from day one, and every year they hammer that in during the annual training. But yet there's still people that fucking get involved.
All
It
right,
just
no Fat Belt Italian's got a question, and I want to put a little spin on his question too. He says he's never heard of COs retiring after 25 years. Do most of them quit because it's a tough job? But I also want to add to that question. Um, do you feel as though like you become like an inmate, like you get institutionalized a little bit, and you know what I mean? Go ahead
well,
with that question. Whoa, watch out, Charlotte. Go ahead with that
Eric,
question.
I was in the military for most of my life, so I was already institutionalized, bro. So
Okay,
it
would you
wasn't a big
consider it a tough
change.
job? Was it a tough job or?
I could see, you know, I could see that it's not for everyone. And you could see the guys that are there that are really having a hard time, or the women that are having a hard time. And you know, the ones that get there and they're trying to get out of custody right away. They're trying to go into, you know, Unicor or some other job, a rec job or something. You know, if I don't get this job in you know, at the warehouse, I'm going to quit, you know, because they just don't like being in a unit. It's not for them,
Right.
and they use it as a step in the door. People go to other agencies. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was a bomb detection dog handler and trainer, so I was used to like walking around with like a 400-pound gorilla on my back, like that stress. You know, I was always like this anyway. If I was in a relaxed environment, I had the most difficult times. If it was quiet, nothing was going on, that's what fucked me up.
Now let me ask you
Because
this:
yeah,
did you ever fall when they hit the deuces?
no,
You
why
know what
would
I'm
I
talking about
fall?
when the COs all come running. There's always someone who they
Oh, you
fall.
mean no, no,
Yeah.
no. You know, I know how to run at a
You
controlled
know what I'm
place where I'm
talking
not
about,
gonna.
though, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
talking
seen
about.
it happen.
Listen, what I'm
I've
talking
seen
about is when
right into the
something's
door,
happening in the prison, they hit this thing called deuces, and all the prison
the body
guards,
alarm.
staff,
Yeah.
everything. I don't care if they're a nurse or whatever. They all
Yep.
got to run to the
You got to
incident,
respond.
and
Hmm.
you'll see them running by, and you'll see them falling and shit, fucking
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah,
You
we've
see the
had
sappers;
people.
they're all about to die. It's funny.
Yeah, we've had people like literally responding to a body alarm that was like a false alarm, but responding to it, they like broke their ankle and their friggin' tib fib, and they were like medically retired for just responding and and getting in a, you know, a crash with a bunch of other people. Yeah, definitely, it happens.
Alex said, "Do they have random drug and alcohol tests for you guys?" I would assume they do.
Yeah, they do that random drug, but you know, me working there, I mean, probably twice in maybe in 8 years, maybe. I got not that I was doing drugs anyway, but
Yeah.
they if somebody shows up to work and they're smelling like alcohol, yeah, they'll send you down to go take a to blow on that thing. If you're drunk on duty, yeah, you know.
Hey, look, this is a funny one. I can answer it with you, but listen what Dominic
Uh,
says. No, it's not. Listen, Dominic, I'm about to tell you. He said, when they train you to search inmates, they ever bring out the belly button as possible hiding location for contraband on fat individuals. He said heavier. It's a weird question, but I've seen it done. Dominic, I'll tell you what I've seen done. There was this fat guy from out your way. His name was Damo. He's from the east side of Cleveland. Big Damo. He was huge. He worked in the kitchen. He was so fat that he could take the onions and green peppers and shit, put them in a big bag like this, and just pull his stomach up and put his stomach over it. And they couldn't, you know what I mean? When they pat him down,
yeah,
his stomach would sit right up
yeah,
and it would hold him. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go like on a searching expedition in the guy's belly button, but you give him a quick pat down.
I think what Dominic's talking about is what I just said. There's some people's stomachs big enough to put over top
Yeah,
of the
of course.
contraband.
I mean, of course.
See,
I mean,
Dominic
but you,
with like
yeah, I
five,
mean, if
yeah, 5 or 6 green peppers and onions, and it was just, you know what I mean? He's so
Yeah,
fat.
but here's the thing: if I'm working every day and I know what you look like, Eric, in your gym clothes, your regular clothes, and whatever, and then all of a sudden I see you with bulges on you, I know that you got something. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? That was
yeah.
a palm tree that just fell in my
Oh, really?
yard. Yeah, nice one right here. I got to carry that son of a bitch out there now.
What is the weather like down there? It's
Oh,
freezing
it's
up. It's ice
beautiful.
out.
Come on, it's beautiful. Oh,
Oh,
it's
good.
beautiful. 80
I hear
degrees.
you
It's
guys down there
beautiful.
complaining sometimes. They'll be on that
No, I'm not
24. But it's
complaining at
cold
all.
out. It's 50 degrees. It's cold out.
Well,
That's great.
50 is cold. 50 is cold for us. 55 is cold. It's cold for us,
Jesus,
where we're at. So
that's
your
springtime for us.
your chemistry does change when you're down in the tropics for so long. I love it. So I love them. But yeah, I mean, there's guys that I mean, I had a guy one time. I responded. There was a fight on the yard. They threw the grenade, hit the alarm, made everyone jump on the ground. We went over. We got the guys that were fighting. They all got handcuffed and run off the yard. And then everybody was down. And then the lieutenant told everyone to get up. And this little Mexican guy was walking back. Everyone had to go back from the yard into their units for lockdown, and I'm noticing behind his pants, he's got blood all the way down, on his pants. So I pulled him aside and I'm like, yo, what's going on with you? And he gave me the old, I don't speak English, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're bleeding, está, dolor, está enfermo. I'm asking if he won't say anything. And he's like bleeding from his rectum. Right. So I don't, but then I go, take him off the yard, bring him to medical. So they brought him to medical. And finally, he confessed he had a shank. He suitcased it. And when they hit the deuces on the tower, he jumped to the ground. When he jumped to the ground, that knife pierced his fucking anal thing. So
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Alex. I'm missing stuff here. Go ahead, Stone Sailor. What you were saying?
no, he got hit.
Let me
That
ask you this.
that
Let me ask you this.
shank.
Have you ever had to watch somebody in the dry tank?
Oh yeah, yep.
For anybody that doesn't know, the dry tank is this. Say I go in the visiting room, right? And they suspect I swallowed something. They'll take me and they'll put me in this room and it's just nothing in there. And they make you shit, 3 times, right? It's 3 times.
You have to
And
have
they watch
three
you the whole time.
productive bowel movements. Productive.
I've never been in there, but I know I've heard about it. So what you've been in, like, watched it?
Bro, yeah, dry cell, man. You got to sit there. He stays in there. He wears a gown. He has nothing. There's no paper, nothing. He has to shit. He has to do 3 full bowel movements, and the poop has to be searched. And how do you search poop?
You
Well,
and
here's what they do. I got this guy, this jabroni, playing music all loud. And here's how they check the poop. They make him poop in a one of those what are they called, porta potties, little toilet bowls, right? And what you do is once the poop goes in there, they have gloves and they take the poop out in a plastic bag and they hold it up to a light and they like squeeze the poop to see if there's anything in it, and then they throw it away. And that's one. You got to have 3 of those in order to get out of there.
damn, that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
pretty shitty job, ain't it?
Yeah, that's disgusting. See, listen, I was always good. I used to throw up. Okay, when I would sneak my shit in, I'll go to the visiting room. But see, I was always good because I would always make sure when you guys were in there, right, and I would see you guys looking like you know what I mean, looking on the thing, looking down on the thing. Other people think you're not paying attention because they're looking for you looking like that. You're moving the camera around, boom, boom, boom. So it's you're playing luck of the draw. See, but what I would do is I try to go in on the weekdays. I'd go in there where it's when the visiting room's not crowded, so the CO is more lax. So now when I catch you like this, I got a normal looking girl coming up there. We don't talk shit. You know, I'm not known as a drug addict or drug dealer on the compound. I'm known as a bookie. You know what I mean? So, and usually white guys don't catch drugs. You know what I mean? That's the truth. You know what I mean? They're usually the ones. So I had it pretty easy where, you know what I mean? But what I would do was I'd see my horse in the visiting room. Say it's June. I might be like, okay, when you come up in August, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then we don't talk about it or email or nothing about it. We just, if it happens, it happens. I go out there and find out. I don't let nobody on the compound know I'm busting a move. When I do bust a move, I get rid of it real fast. If somebody usually don't speak English, and you know that's how I was rolling. That's why I never got caught. I come back. I was getting a lot of weed, and I would come back and I'd sell caps of weed. Okay, you know what that is, right?
Of course.
Capstick cap full of weed. So I would come back and I take a quart of water real quick, and I'd guzzle it, and then I'd stand on my head, and then I go like this, and all the balloons would come perfectly right in the toilet, and I just scoop them out, and then I got all my weed. But I was always good at that, and like I always told the girl, like, don't ever try to bust a move. But if I don't tell you to bust a move, don't bust it. You know what I mean? Because and also going through the shack, I always watch the CO's eyes when I come through the shack because I went on a lot of visits, and every visit wasn't busting a move. You know what I mean? So I'm going out to normal visits all the time too. So I know how they act in the shack. And anybody just naturally might be tense if they know a bust is about to go down or something. So as I come through, I check them out, to make sure, you know what I mean? So I was always
That's good.
pretty good at that.
Hey, I mean, obviously you had success with it. You made it through. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a game, man. It's a game. You guys are always trying to beat us and we're always trying to catch you. I mean, it's a game. You can't,
Yeah,
you
but
can't
Scott,
take it personal. I never took it personal. I mean, if someone's trying to beat me or whatever, that's what they should be doing. And I'm supposed to catch them. So it wasn't really like a big deal to
right.
me. And I never really
But most of
sweated
the times,
small stuff.
I think you guys catch guys most of the time because they talk about it before they even do it, and SIS already knows about it.
Well, yeah, if they
You
talk
guys are
about it on the
waiting.
phone,
Yeah.
they put it in an email or someone puts it in a drop note. See, a lot of the intel they get are from inmates dropping notes
Yes.
on each other.
Yes, because what will happen is say they're telling people that they're about to bust a move. Now you got a
Yeah.
broke inmate who doesn't like them or something like that. See, the staff will give them 20
They
books,
put money
40
on
books,
their
and that's like
they put
200
money on
bucks
their
to snitch
they
on them.
get money put on their commissary from the bureau.
Actual money.
Money.
Oh wow, I
Hey,
didn't know that. I
yeah.
thought they give them stamps.
No, there are people that are on the payroll that are informants in that prison all over, and they get paid. They get money on their books. It's this is not classified information. It's true. It's 100% true. No
So what would the
secret,
money
not
say?
top
Listen,
secret.
okay. Now here's the thing. When I get arrested,
SIS, they get away. SIS is gets away
yeah,
with
but
anything they
here's my
want.
question
They
though.
call all the shots in the
Here's my
bureau,
question
man.
though, Stone Sailor. When I get when I get money sent to me in the feds, it comes from Western Union, and
Okay.
okay, and it says who sent it. So what does theirs say?
Well, who's the guy that does the trust fund administrator?
Commissary guy or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, whoever that person is, SIS puts it, tells them, pay this guy, pay this guy, pay that guy, and they put it in and whatever. There's no trace. It's never going. No one will ever suspect it. They call all the shots there, Eric. If they wanted to pull a guy out and get information, they will give him. They'll give him fucking cigarettes, whatever he wants. If he's going to bring them something, it's the same
Did you
thing in there
did you
as it
ever
is
catch
out here.
someone flipping out on K2?
Oh yeah. I
Let
had
me
a
hear
guy
that.
flip
Tell
out
me about
so
that.
bad he ran headfirst into his cell door, smacked it, and then fell down. He was.
I think it's close to it's 900 some thousand. I think not. You can have less than a million, but
It's something like that, yeah. But I mean, if you get 150, what is it, 300 bucks a month? What can you put? 400 bucks a month, whatever you could spend.
you can
Three
spend I think 380 a month now.
something 380, almost 400 bucks a month, yeah. So they
But
put it
see,
on their books.
they would want you to keep all that money on your books. The reason why is because they put it in Iowa and they're collecting interest on it. So if you got
Yeah, Iowa
400
goes.
grand on your
Everything
books,
goes through Iowa. You're right. Yeah,
you can't spend
everything
it.
goes through Iowa.
Yeah.
And they do it. The trust fund guy, the SIS guy, they tell them pay this guy, pay that guy, and they're informed. They get paid. You
Oh,
know.
John Gary, you don't even know the half about the jailhouse snitches. They've put knives on me and everything. They've planted
Well,
knives on me
they
and everything.
do. When they put a note on somebody, this guy will die if you don't get him off the compound.
Yeah.
Usually, when you go to the guy and you're
They're
like, "Hey,
trying to
bro,
get
I gotta lock."
somebody's cell. They're trying to steal their cell.
Yeah, hey, bro, I gotta lock you up. Somebody put a note in on you, and he's like, "I know." His mother, like a lot of people owe you money, don't they? He's like, "Yeah, there's a couple." So I'm like, "Well, there's your narrowed down suspects right there." I'm not trying to help you, but yeah, somebody keeps putting your name in drop notes.
Well, Dominic,
So,
actually, they're giving Suboxone to inmates now in county jail and in prison.
yeah,
They
they
were
give it
giving
to
it
him.
out in federal prison back during COVID when I was there, and then this last time, a little over a year ago, when I got locked up for that 4 months for when people stole my money, they were giving it to the guys in county jail. They were giving them Subutex, and then they started giving them actual strips, 2 a day or something.
Yeah, there was guys on all that, crazy fucking, you know, stuff. Guys on Suboxone, guys on all kinds of psychiatric meds and everything. I mean, it is. I mean, it was honestly, I enjoyed the job. I had a good time. I really did for the most part. I enjoyed some of the people I worked with.
How
Some of
were
the
you?
people,
How
not
were you
all of
with
them.
like bookies and shit like that? Did you bother us?
Never harassed bookies. Never cared about that. That's not even like,
That
guys who
helps.
ran
I
tickets.
think that helps the jail run.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people don't understand. They sit back and I'll listen to them give their expert opinions on prison. They've never been in a prison or whatever. They get air conditioned and cable TV. I'm like, well, the people that work there, we like air conditioned, and yeah, we like to watch cable TV too. And why not give them entertainment? You should give them better food and give them a lot of activities to do, and you have
Now
less incidents.
you've seen how they feed them now. They feed horrible now.
Oh,
They used to be
oh,
good, man. Now it's horrible.
yeah, not
This
no
is what is
more.
it? Hamburger Days Wednesday, right? And fucking
Oh,
now it's just a
yes.
hamburger.
Yeah, I hope Trump fixes that because he's going to be having all these hearings on prison reform, and definitely because if you just eat prison food, you're probably going to get cancer quick. It is
Yeah,
not healthy.
yeah.
It is the lowest grade of
Well,
everything.
I tell
They're on
people
this bureau.
if you don't have money or you're not able to hustle and
You're
make money in
fucked.
there, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Yeah, they
100%
don't give
fucked.
you nothing. You don't get shit.
Nope, you're fucked. You'll starve and you'll starve and you'll probably end up with cancer or something from eating that fucking food. Their meat, everything, chicken is all the lowest grade shit. And they used to have some decent food, and now
Yeah.
it's just
Bro, when I first went in the feds, man, they had the salad bars with everything on them.
yeah, salad bars.
Listen,
Yeah,
look, at nighttime, look, guys, you wouldn't have to really go to dinner because they fed you so good during lunch and stuff. Now, but I would go to dinner sometimes and they would have ice cream. They would take the half-gallon of ice cream carton and say, me and you, Stone Solar, walking through the line, and it's me and you. They would take a big like knife and cut it right in half, hand you half the carton, hand you half the carton, and you just put your spoon in and walk out. That's how sweet it was. But it ain't like that no
yeah.
more.
No, they fucked all that up, and that's the thing. It's like even now they don't want to. They don't. They're not. When I left, they weren't replacing the microwaves. Well, why are you selling microwave fucking food in the commissary? Oh, we're gonna stop that soon. So someone can't buy some like
They
a
took the
microwave
microwave.
something.
They took the microwave.
They
They took
took
it all.
see that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me. That's crazy. Crazy. A fucking
In truth,
microwave
what
like.
happened if you get into a fight with a guy? I would think that you would probably get charged if he died. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's something like serious bodily harm
I
or
think he's talking about Gene Barello saying he beat a guy to death in jail or something.
oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know about that.
These guys, the truth, man. This guy's a nut.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, it was a job, paid really good.
You got a
I didn't,
podcast? Did you drop his link?
yeah, I have a half-ass podcast.
I was
Yeah.
talking to him. I know you do too. Your link should be
Oh,
dropped. But
yeah. Well,
the
I don't
W
care.
number podcast. Drop his link, Butterfly.
I love. Okay, I'll check this guy out.
Yeah.
The W word podcast. I wonder what that means.
The W number podcast.
Oh, the W number.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
there it
gotta check
is.
you out too, bro. Yeah, grab his link or something, or drop his link,
Yeah,
Butterfly.
drop it.
Again. I would, but I don't know how, honestly. But yeah, but yeah. So see, a lot of times people don't understand that like we create our own economy, we create everything. Like there's everything.
You have a
Listen, you
yep,
got people
and
making ice cream, you got people deep frying fucking burritos, and fucking
cheesecake, pizza, burrito, some of the most delicious stuff.
yes,
Cheesecake, guy would make it. He would freeze it. He'd put it in the ice. He would get ice in a bag and put. I mean, fucking off the chain. And the but back to what you were talking about way at the
Here, let me
beginning.
answer
You
this
were
real
like,
quick.
yeah,
Salvatore. Yeah, well, see, when you go in the feds, you're going to be around your homies. You know what I mean? You're going to be in a car. You're going to be around some people you fuck with and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, you could start a store or whatever. But now, when you have problems, you got to know. You know what I've seen most successful stores? I've seen some big stores now. Most successful stores had medicine, T-shirts. They had everything in them. But I seen what they did was they extended a lot of credit to. I seen stores that would just let unicorn guys shop there because they're guaranteed pay. They got unicorn jobs.
yeah, yeah. That's a good policy to have if you're running a store. You know, a unicorn guy is going to get paid. A unicorn guy. Yeah, that's a good policy. Most where I see with stores, guys come, they give stuff out on credit. The guy don't want to pay. Here we go. You know, here we go. So, does the guy go and put a note in on the guy, and the guy gets busted? You pull him out, his whole store's gone. All that shit. So it's just, but that guy, I mean, we've had some guys that I remember offhand that ran some really big fucking stores
Dude, I've been in
in
them. Like
there.
I said, they had medicine, they had everything.
Yeah,
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 okay.
anything.
Yeah, Butterfly, can you drop his link where person can just punch on it or whatever? Yeah. So look, yeah, I've seen some huge ones, man. I've seen some that sold tennis shoes and everything. Because like a lot of times, like when the Tims would come in, now they're the bullshit Tims. They're the I used to call them the circle shop Tims, $29 and under and shit. But they sell them for $100, and that's slick to have. That's like exclusive shit to have because they'll have them for a while and they won't. Like when they had the Air Force Ones that came in, so you go by like little stuff means a lot in there.
You
Gold
know what I
chain.
saw? Speaking of shoes, right? One time we had a guy. He was in on a visit, and he had a
That's what it's
17 year
definitely
old
them. I was asking.
17-year-old son comes in, and the kid's wearing Air Jordans. Don't you know the father makes them switch shoes with him on the
Yeah,
way out?
yeah.
Wait, they catch but the kid is crying. He's upset about it. He doesn't like that his father just took his shoes from him, the Air Jordans, that he came in on a visit. So the
Oh, I
kid's
thought they
walking
paid
out.
it.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. The kid's walking out with the yellow, the shoes that we give you during the visit, the little Bobo shoes.
Oh shit.
So immediately, boom. So we get him. He starts crying. His daddy made him take off the shoes. Basically, the dad got him there. Give me those shoes. I want to wear them. And what kind of fucking father is that to do that to your son? You know what I mean? In the visiting room, and the kid's crying because his dad took his Air Jordans from him because he wanted to
Well,
bring them
I'll tell
back
you
to
what I
the.
thought it was. I've seen. Listen, because okay, it's Schuylkill and
Yeah,
at Gilmer and at
Schuylkill.
Gilmer, you
Yeah,
can
Goomer.
wear your boots in there. I had the Tims that I'll wear
At
in.
the pen, you got to put the jumpsuit on with the Bobo
Right.
shoes and all that. You got to be stripped down. That's penitentiary.
Right.
Orange
Yeah.
jumpsuit.
See, when I was at the penitentiary, I didn't have visits. I lost all my visits and stuff. So I never went to visits there. It was in Kentucky anyway. But so what was happening was at Gilmer, this guy that I was friends with, this Panamanian guy Diaz, shout out if he's out there anywhere. He would go and he was like a slick motherfucker. He carved out his state boot where it could like open up and shit like that. And his girl would bring him up all these pouches of tobacco and he put it in the state boot and shit like that. And fucking he'd bring back like 5 pouches at a time in each boot and shit. He was
Okay.
getting paid.
Yeah.
But he wound up getting busted. and I think he started bringing in weed or something too. And everybody started finding out about it, and he was doing it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Like listen, like I said, I'd hit every like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Once every 3 months, but I just hit big. Listen, I swallowed 42 balloons one time.
Oof, my God. Oof.
That's my record. I've snuck heroin in. Listen, I snuck heroin in one time, right?
Oh,
okay.
Thank God it didn't bust in your.
Listen to me. It wasn't even my people who did it. I fucked up. I let the other people, because I had my people meet some, because I had to go through somebody else to get dope. Or just put it that way. It's a half ounce of dope. So we're going to split it in half. I'm going to get it in. It's their shit. I should have had my people do it because they know how to wrap everything right. Well, I had his people do it, and they came up on a weekend, and I don't like the weekend visits because it's so packed, and they're doing this, and you're just taking a chance. But anyway, so altogether it was 8 balloons, supposed balloons. Man, when I get back, I forgot to eat, and it weighs on your stomach. You gotta have something on your stomach. So when I go to throw up, nothing's coming up. It's going back down. So next thing you know, when I finally do throw up, I see the wrapping come up. I'm like, holy shit. These motherfuckers did this shit in rubber gloves. You don't use rubber gloves. You're supposed to use non-lubricated condoms and double wrap it, bop, bam, boom. That way it doesn't bust and the acid doesn't eat it in your stomach and shit. So this shit was like Stone Sailor. I'm going to tell this story another day, but I almost died. And it's fucked up because it was the same week that my brother died. But I wound up getting all 8 balloons up, throwing them up. But man, it was terrible. And
wow, that had to be scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell that story another day. But
sounds good.
Guys are all dope. So that's why a lot of times I did weed. You know what I mean? That was my
sure.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Because listen, I've seen a guy bringing in, now I wasn't there, but this actually happened to him. I think it might have been at one of the Lowe's. His name was Willie, and he fucking tried to sneak in K2 or something, and he wound up eating it. And this was when it was like, I guess, the spice stuff or whatever. He ate a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And then when they put him in the tank or whatever, he shit it out, ate it again or something. Well, wind up fucking him up real bad. It cost the BOP like close to $1 million to save him. What's up, William Brooklyn? Yeah, it cost the BOP.
Willie boy.
Yeah, he was from Miami or something like that. He's
okay.
Might have been maybe a Cuban or something like that. So he's a Hispanic guy. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen the scar. Listen, they had to cut him open. Like when you get shot.
Yeah. They cut you open like a
Salvatore.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like when you get shot and they cut you open, you know what I mean? He had that same.
They got to rip your guts out almost. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was in like a coma, just laying there like in the prison spot for like 4 months or something, man.
Oh my God.
It was terrible.
Jesus Christ.
I don't see how he survived. He's a little dude too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, Bella. I hope you feel better, hon.
Yeah, but yeah, listen, the only time I've seen the spice was in the halfway house when I first came home, John. And listen, it's one bathroom. You don't got bathrooms in your room or whatever. So I'm going in there to wash my face and brush my teeth. There's a guy on the floor foaming at the fucking mouth. And everybody's standing around laughing. I'm like, are y'all going to help him? He's dying. They're like, nah, he's just epping out. I didn't know what it was, but that's what that was. That was that spice shit. That was 2013 when I went to the halfway house. Yeah, that shit's crazy. But now the K2 they got is on paper. That's what your experience is. Now, the joints that you worked at, were we allowed to have our mail? Like, because nowadays they photocopy our mail through the mailroom.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends if you're on a closed monitoring thing.
The whole jail.
Okay, if they did it, if that's what the warden wanted to do.
No, I don't know if your jail did it. I'm saying when last time Allenwood did that. I don't know if every jail does that.
Well, it depends. Like I said, it depends on if you're on the hot mail list. We have a list of people that their mail has to be monitored no matter what. So it depends, but usually, yes. I mean, if you're getting mail coming in there, yeah, they'll copy it, especially if you're on one of the lists.
Yeah, but but listen, the whole jail at Allenwood, because of K2, every piece of mail that comes in, your photos and everything.
Okay. Well, you just said because of K2, so this is a security procedure. the warden put in place, an extra procedure, because that is very time consuming. So in order to do that,
Yeah.
that takes the mail probably a lot longer to get there
Yes, it
because there's
does. It's
delays.
terrible, dude.
Yeah,
And what they
but the
do is,
warden can, yeah, the warden can add to that. He's adding to the security because obviously you had an outbreak of the K2. So yeah. Okay.
now here's how they did it, Stone Sailor. Now, obviously, you have a right to your mail and your pictures, right? But
Yes.
here's what they do.
Yes.
They give you all the photocopies, and then they say within 30 days or 60 days, we're going to destroy it, or you have the right to pay to send it somewhere.
To say it somewhere, yes, with an address, and you have to pay it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you'll still never physically see it or touch it. The only thing you're going
Yes.
to see is the photocopies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how the whole jail is at Allenwood because of K2.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
that shit is so crazy.
They had some deaths, I think, too.
Yeah,
Because of that. Sure.
They
Yeah.
said one time, they said there was fentanyl in some of the shitters. I forget what it was, but
Yeah.
Now, have you ever found that in the joint? Like, have you ever found drugs?
Yes. Yes.
Like in a cell or on a person's person? How did you find drugs?
Both. Both. I found them in cells during shakedowns, and I actually caught a guy shooting dope with a needle and a tourniquet, a homemade needle and a tourniquet. He was shooting dope.
Yeah, they used the thing off the milk. You know, the milk that we get in the morning. You know the
Yeah.
tube thing. They used that to make a needle.
Yeah, he had some makeshift needle with a bulb. He had a belt he was using as a tourniquet, and he was a Spanish guy. I'm like, yo, and he was like, shooting up. I'm like, no, buddy, you're out of here,
What about
So
overdoses?
yeah, we had some of those too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
died, or they.
We had one that died, and then there was one they brought back. I think they were starting to use that Narcan.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah, they just started to now. Well, from what I understand, it's all over now. They make sure that everyone has it. But back then, I think the only the medical people had it. You know what I'm saying? I think they're keeping it in the units now, inside where the equipment is. I think they're keeping a Narcan in there now. Where the officer keeps his. Where the chit board is, where you put your equipment, the cuffs, and all that, the keys on the wall. They get them. So I believe they're going to have a Narcan. They have a Narcan on there now too, from what I'm told.
That shows you how bad the drug. Listen, that shows you how bad the drug epidemic is.
It's bad.
When you're running around in prison with Narcan.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of times you're able to get. A lot of people are able to get more access to drugs in prison. Like, say you come from some small town or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might have some crack or some weed, you know what I mean? Sometimes like that. But then a person gets to prison, and back then, there was heroin. There was real heroin back then.
Yeah, I mean, there still is. Well, I mean, not so much now. It's it's the fentanyl. But yeah.
When did that go out? Around 2012, 13, I think the dope and all went out. About 13, maybe 14, maybe right after I got out.
And it started fentanyl. Then fentanyl started coming.
And Suboxone and all that.
And Suboxone, yeah.
Yeah, all that crazy shit.
Because guys are worried about being exposed to it. You run into a cell because the guy's down and there's fentanyl in there, and now you're fucking out of it. Because So yeah, it's scary, man. It is. No matter what, it's scary.
That fentanyl shit, you never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So definitely. But I mean, that's what we sign up for. When you get the job, you're told about all this. There's no lies. There's no false advertising. You're going to work in a prison.
Christopher said that the COs have Narcan in their hands and CFCF.
Hey, Philly, really? They're carrying it on their tool, on their duty belts. Then how about that? Yeah,
that's wild.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
nuts. Yeah. And people are still OD. Oh my god, man.
Yep. Shows us where we are as a society. It's where it is.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they were doing like it was some of the wildest shit that I seen, man. Like when I went to federal prison. Like the last time I went, they actually had a commissary list for like the Transformers.
Yeah, they have that too. I've seen that too.
Yeah, they had a commissary list. Their specific commissary list for them. And like what was crazy was they were allowed to buy sports bras, but we weren't even allowed to have wife beaters. Even if we brought them from
Yeah,
another
I
country,
know.
they would confiscate them and take them. Ain't that crazy?
Well, that's all done now. President Trump ended all that.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. Well,
yeah,
I'll never
that's
know.
all
Again. I'm
done.
not going back to
Yeah.
jail, but
No, that's all
Mhm.
over now. He stopped that. Thank God.
yeah, but that's the wild shit
Yeah, I
that
know.
people don't even
Well,
understand.
that's the thing. They think that by treating here, their whole idea is let's give someone preferential treatment and status in order to make up for something that happened. Maybe they were discriminated against, whatever. All that does, nobody's special. You're the same as everybody else. You're in that joint. You're a male, biological male. You're in a male prison. That's it. Now, all this stuff that they want to be able to buy panties and all this other shit that they were allowing them to do and makeup, that's ridiculous in federal
What
prison.
about like the nicknames? Like I've seen one.
Yeah, I know. They
Snow
all
White,
got nicknames.
Martha Stewart,
Yeah, I've heard them all. Pocahontas, Little
J
Princess. Like I
Lo.
heard them all. Yeah, they give them all names. Diana Ross. They call one. Yeah, they all have. And I've seen guys fight over them now too.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I used
I've seen
to
it.
trip out. Look, they say the Transformers will say a couple Transformers be out out at wreck or something, and you turn around and next thing you know you'll see a couple guys coming there with their shirts off, throwing the football, trying to. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, they're like peacocks. They're like peacocks, letting they're trying to attract. I know. Trust me, I've seen it. I don't.
I've seen
I mean,
two of the good white dudes try to kill each other in the yard. They got all drunk.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, I've seen it all, and um, okay. Be whatever you want, but like to allow them to dress like women in a male prison is just asking for trouble. And to be honest with you, a lot of times they ended up, from what I've seen, we had one person that was transgender, and they used to basically prostitute themselves. They would try to move in with this guy for like a month and try to move in with another guy for like a month. Like they were just like he would jump around the different units, and he was a hooker. She was a hooker.
Who knows what it is?
Whatever. But I mean, it's like, come on, I mean, you can't have that. This is a male environment, here. I mean, if you want to be gay, but you're not supposed to do any of that stuff in jail.
And then they were giving them, they were giving them the hormone shots and shit.
I know they have to continue their medication because actually from what I was told, because I asked about that one time. I asked about that, and you know what the doctor told me? It's worse to take them off the medicine here than it is to just keep them on, because I guess to take them off that medicine, if they're not taken off properly, they could die from what the doctor told me. I don't know, but so that's why they keep giving them that. But I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what makes sense is,
well, here's the thing.
I did steroids.
Eric,
Listen, I did steroids a little
yeah,
bit.
okay. I was going to go there.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah,
what I'm saying is, if this guy wants to take estrogen, then why can't you want to take testosterone, TRT, while you're in jail? Why shouldn't the doc be able to give the males TRT so they can work out and build more muscle mass? You're giving him hormones.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Also, when you come off steroids and shit, if you don't come off them right, if you just cold turkey and you were overdoing it or something like that, it'll lead to depression and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that might be the same for them, whatever the fuck they're taking.
Well, so I guess. But my thing is, if you went, like, in other words, if you're an inmate and you're serving time and you're like, you know what, I'm 50, my testosterone's low, I want to take some TRT and like get me back up to a level, they would laugh at you. But then somebody else says, I want to be a woman and you got to give me estrogen, like you got to give him estrogen. Like, where's the fucking, it doesn't make sense. That's my thing. So everyone should be treated the same. Nobody's special over anybody else.
Right.
Only your mama thinks you're special. Nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So you got to follow the rules as everybody else, and you don't get treated any differently, like I used to tell them, because of your sexual orientation. That doesn't make you above someone else. I don't fucking do that. That's ridiculous bullshit.
Stone Sailor, Chris said like this. Now, you seem like you're a little bit familiar with the PA system.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, he said he went through the system in 06 and back again through it again in 2020. whole new game with the Fetty and the K2. Young boys got no disrespect, got no respect.
No
Yeah,
respect.
that's true, but hang on. And they wouldn't let him get off methadone. So I guess now I had a friend did time in PA, and he did like almost all his time. They do like 85%, I think, in PA.
Okay.
So I mean, Chris says he did 85%. I don't know if it's that. If I'm wrong,
What's
Chris,
he saying? Is he saying they didn't give him Suboxone or
they wouldn't let him get off of methadone. I guess they
no?
had him.
Oh, they let him stay on. They let him stay on the methadone.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh, okay. So if guys come in there and they're on methadone, they're going to continue the medicine and not let them dry out.
Well, yeah. Well, see, when I was just in Towson, year and some change ago, when I did that 4 months or whatever, they were coming in and they had guys getting methadone too, methadone and Suboxone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably realizing when these guys get behind the wall and they're drying out and they're going through all
See,
that
the
stuff.
problem
It's
is, though, with the methadone, that's just I think that's just like a government legal drug. Like
that's all it is. Yeah.
I've
Listen,
seen people have done it, like have been on it for a long time, and it really fucks them up.
listen, my brother who passed away, he was a heroin addict too. He was an opioid addict. He used to get methadone. The methadone that he used to have to get that the insurance paid for, it was cheaper to buy heroin after the insurance company charged him the methadone, like how they take like
Yeah.
whatever they charge. Like first he would get like 1 day at a time, then they do like after you get like there's a program like they give you a week's worth so you don't have to go every day, something like that. And the methadone, that's all they just took them all they did is switch from someone who's a private drug dealer and they switched them on to methadone on a government drug dealer program. That's all it is, basically.
Well, here's what Christopher's saying, and yeah, Christopher, they do that here too. He's just that was in county jail. I was just in county jail where they were doing that, and people who were going to prison, yeah, they would wean them off before they got to
The
prison.
feds? Was it because I don't think
No,
the
this
feds
was in
don't.
county jail. This was like
Okay, all right.
and that's
Okay.
what he was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know much about county jails.
Yeah,
I just know the federal prisons.
yeah, that's what Stone Sailor. Like a year and some change ago, somebody stole my. I told you the story when they stole my money, and I fucking seen them at the hotel and got my money back, and I got arrested. Well,
I remember something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to sit in county jail for 4 months because they wouldn't give me a bail. So I seen that stuff. I seen how they did it, and he's right because the people who were going upstate, they would start weaning them off. Like they go so many milligrams.
A little bit, yeah. They got to wean them off to get them ready. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a smart move because you don't want them drying out up there. They're gonna have a hell of a time. But that's a hell of a thing to be addicted to. I
Yeah,
really, I feel bad for everybody that has to live through that and their families that have to go through that because I went through it with my brother and it's horrible.
my cousin, she was, she was a street person, so but she was nice looking, and she was, she used to date guys, put it that way. But her client list was like Mike Messina, Rich Franklin, the MMA fighter, stuff like that.
Okay.
You understand? But she got hooked on heroin throughout her life, and then got on that methadone. Oh my God, no, you understand? It just destroyed her life and everything.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
And this is somebody that I'm telling you, like Mike Messina. And
yeah, I got you.
You understand?
Oh, that just sucks you. Yeah, that just sucks all your youth and vitality away. It just sucks it. Horrible drugs, horrible.
Yes, I mean the government doing that to people is crazy, and like
it's horrible.
Alex even said that he said earlier that withdrawing from methadone is worse than heroin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. See.
So
ridiculous.
Probably the truth. You know what I mean? I mean,
I think what Musk is doing, and he's doing something in this realm. People that are like hardcore addicted to something, they're going to be able to put a chip in your brain that's going to just turn off that little section that wants drugs, opioids, or whatever. They're going to be able to manipulate that with this microchip that they're doing, Neuralink, and they're going to be able to shut down your addiction. They're going to be able to cure people just with that implant right here, and it's going to go to that opioid receptors, and it's going to tell them, whatever, give them whatever they need, trick them into thinking they're satisfied or whatever.
Listen to this shit, Stone Sailor. I knew a guy, he's dead now because he wound up getting back on dope and dying, but he was a real bad dope fiend, right? And his parents or whatever had money and shit. fucking, they had him. This is years and years ago. This is in the 90s. They actually had him go to a doctor, and they like took his blood out and like ran it through a thing and like cleaned his blood. Oh, it's some weird shit. But like I said, he wound up going back on dope and dying anyway.
Well,
So, you know, I could see something like that. They've probably been trying to do that for a long time.
well, he said Musk. I mean that my Eurolink or whatever is going to be in there, and it's good. They know what part of your brain that those receptors are that tells that's craving. I want this. They're going to be able to shut those down. I mean, it's coming. So that's going to be able to help a lot of these people. Could you imagine picking those zombies off of the street in Kensington and
Wow.
Neurolinking them and letting them fucking live regular lives? That would be an amazing thing if they're able to just go in and have something put in and they're able to just go
What
get
would be
off
the
of that
side
stuff.
effects though? There's always going to be some type of side effects though.
Well, I like I said, I think the living the other life is
Worse.
the side effects to me, what? Diarrhea? Okay. I mean, whatever. I mean,
All right,
whatever they
that's
are, it's
okay.
going to be better than laying on the street in Kensington like living dead, like a zombie. So
Did you hear
I don't
anything,
know what to say.
Stone Sailor? You hear anything about a couple in Florida? They tied two separate lottery tickets together to try to claim $1 million prize.
No, but that doesn't
Dominic said
sound
that. I
too
don't know. Is it
smart.
recent, Dominic?
Obviously, they got caught. That doesn't sound very bright, like a
Yeah,
bright
yeah.
idea. So now they get no money. Great. There you go. You committed
Christopher
fraud,
got
and
4
now they're
years
not going to pay
clean,
you.
but you got yeah. Weed will help you if that's what you got to do to stay off that other shit. Don't worry about. Listen, you make the rules, Chris. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to sit there. Listen, if that's what's keeping you off of them hard drugs, that's what you
Yeah.
do.
And there I go, because I'm the Stone
Congratulations, Chris.
Sailor. I've done all the research. Yes, cannabis is being used to wean people off opioids. Absolutely. Just like cannabis, I use to not take the drugs from the VA. I chose pot over pills. That's the whole point. So,
Yeah,
E,
yeah.
I got to
Any
go, big
day of the
dog.
week.
I got to take off, big dog.
All right, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks, Stone Sailor, for coming on.
Always a pleasure, sir. Always. Thank you.
All right, so thanks a lot, man. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the show. I hope you guys liked the show today, and I hope in the beginning I can help some people that, you know what I mean. If you're going through anything where as though you feel as though you're failing or anything like that, just remember you just got to get your helmet on and get in the game, man. You know what I mean? So I'm putting together something right now, guys, with the Pappy Mason and Fat Cat Nichols and stuff. It's taking me a minute though because I'm going through the documentaries. I'm going through little like books and stuff, and also I'm going through the court cases because it's like kind of complex because basically you had the PO that got killed, which was due to Fat Cat, and then you had Pappy Mason and then put that hit on the cop Ed Burns that was protecting witnesses. So it's kind of hard to intertwine the whole story and break down in layman's terms, but I'm working on that now, so I have that coming out, and you know, so I'll probably be back tomorrow too with another man hour. Figure out I might bring somebody else on. Got to talk to a few people, talking to a few people behind the scenes also. Got to get this debate going with Dominic Scali also, and you know, and if he wants to get in there and box, the real truth. Don't ever worry. Your host Eric Foss, I'll get in there with him, no problem. All right, guys, everybody have a good night. You know what I mean? Just remember, always stand on business. I'll see you guys later.